You can get started anytime you want, Dave.
All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Looking at the Markets and Rich TV Live. Wow, what a day, what a day. Is it a good day or a bad day? Can we get some perspective on this? Well, that's why I'm talking to Rich of richtvlive.com, and I'm also broadcasting here on Looking at the Markets. Rich is a well-dressed man, and he's ready to tell us a little bit about what's going on in the markets today. How you doing, Mr. Rich?
I'm doing great, David. There's a lot of big news happening in the markets. I don't even know where to start, but I'll let you decide where we start because there's so many things going on. So you decide.
Okay. Well, first of all, Rich recently put out a video which I think is essential viewing. Everybody should bookmark it. So go to Rich's YouTube channel and check out, and the link is in the description below my video. And that is the Rich's top 10 marijuana stock picks for 2018. If you've been asking, and people probably ask Rich all the time, what are your top cannabis picks? What are your top picks? Okay, there you go. He told us the top 10, and some of them were very surprising. I expected to see Canopy on there and Afria or Fira and all the usuals, but I saw some unusual ones on there as well. Rich, can you tell us about some of the more popular and less popular picks?
Sure. So to just go over my picks, my 10th pick was the Green Organic Dutchman, which is a new IPO that's going to be opening up literally any day now. We're literally just waiting for the news for it to open up. Symbol is TGOD. And the reason why I chose them 10th, and people don't know who they are because they're not public yet, is they actually have the largest growing capacity right now of all the producers in North America. So they are up there, and they deserve to get recognition because they have more growing capacity than Canopy Growth Corp. So when you consider that, you have to look at them very seriously and say, wow, they've got more growing capacity than Canopy Growth Corp. These guys are potentially a huge investment opportunity. So I had to put them on the list, but because they're not public yet, we don't really know how they're going to perform. So I had to put them on the list, but I could only put them in 10th, but I believe they could skyrocket up my list. Then in number 9th, I put Saniva, SNN in Canada, SNNVF in America. Now, why did I pick Saniva? Well, they're considered the Canopy Growth Corp of California. They have licenses to grow in Canada and in the United States. And I believe the United States is going to be a huge market, which we've talked about, in the next 6 to 12 months. So I believe they are positioned to really capitalize on that. And I believe they are a company that people are not talking about. And I'm going to continue to talk about it because we want to bring the winners. And we don't just bring the winners that everybody else brings. I want to bring the winners that nobody's talking about so that we can really give them the visibility that they deserve. And this is a company that deserves it. And nobody's talking about it. So Saniva is one that I really like. In number 8, I have Abcan, ABCN in Canada, ABCCF in America. I love Abcan. I own Abcan. I've been watching them since they did their IPO last year at around $1. They're trading around $2 right now. They're up well over 100% since their IPO, and they've been as high as $4. So I think Abcan has enormous potential at number 8. At number 7, I have Organigram, OGI in Canada, OGRMF in America. Love the company. Think it's grossly undervalued. I think it has huge potential. It's up 138% in the last year, and they're one of the largest companies on the east coast of Canada. In number 6, I have Cannabis Wheaton, CBW in Canada, CBWTF in America, up 3,540% in the last year. They have to be on everybody's radar. They're priced at about $1.60 in Canada, so very well priced, considering they've already gone up that much, and they have positions in 16 of the largest medical marijuana producers in North America. So their strategy is kind of like mine, invest in the biggest producers, which I really like their platform, and that gives them the ability to grow exponentially because they're not one company. They're invested in over 16 of the biggest producers. So I really like Cannabis Wheaton at number 6. Number 5 is Cron, C-R-O-N. They just graduated to the NASDAQ. The only one of these companies that's on the NASDAQ. That alone gives them elite company, and they're up 627% in the last year. That's Kronos Group. They are absolutely a monster, one that I've been buying since its inception and one that I absolutely love. Number 4 is a big surprise. VFF in Canada, VFFIF in America, Village Farms International. I have it here over my shoulder. Now, why do I like Village Farms International? I bought this today. It's because they actually are around 250,000 square feet in current production, which is good, trading at around $6 in Canada, but I believe they're grossly undervalued with over 1.1 million square feet in future growth potential. So if you consider they are in the top 4 of all the licensed producers in Canada in future growth potential, and nobody talks about them, I decided to really put them heavy on my list and high on my list because I believe they are one that could explode. It hasn't exploded yet. So since its inception, it's up 313%, but it's one that really no one's talked about. Nobody's featuring. Nobody's really got on their radar. So I decided to really move them up heavy on my list. And to put my money where my mouth is, I bought them today because I like them. They're here in Delta, British Columbia, and they are named as one of the top 50 companies on the OTCQX. So I really like Village Farms, and I went to their website, and it looked really clean. It looked really good. It was well done. It was very professional. I thought that they've got good upside. I really do believe they've got good upside. Number 3, I don't think the top 3 is surprising to anybody. It's probably everybody's top 3. Afira, APH in Canada, APHQF in America, up 224% in the last year. Absolute monster. Has a deal with Shoppers Drug Mart. And the thing I like about them in my research, they're only using 100,000 square feet of their growing capacity, which is 1 million square feet of growing capacity. So if you think about it, they're grossly undervalued. They are only using 10% of their growing capacity. So what's going to happen when they're using 100% of their growing capacity? I think it could potentially go up 9x based on those numbers. So I think they're grossly undervalued still. That's why I have them as number 3. Number 2 is Aurora Cannabis. I love Aurora Cannabis. One of my favorites in the last year, if you've been watching me, ACB in Canada, ACBFF in America. Absolutely love Aurora Cannabis. I'm in love with this company for a lot of reasons. Up 468% since last year. It's made me a lot of money. It's made my members a lot of money. They're currently using 143,000 square feet of growing capacity. Their future growth is 943,000 square feet of growing capacity. So I believe they've got a chance to do easily like a 5 to 8x just based on their growing capacity, growing potential. They just did a deal with Canamed. Canamed right now is priced higher than Canopy Growth Corp. So Canamed is now part of Aurora. That alone makes me believe that they're going to skyrocket once that is all finalized. And they just did a deal with Shoppers Drug Mart too. So why do I have them higher than Afira? I really like them both. It's because they're priced lower. That's why. But I really like Afira too. And number 1 is Canopy Growth Corp. I can't not choose Canopy Growth Corp number 1 because of their success. They've been a huge success. They have been an overachiever. If anything, they have been the leaders. I call them the medical marijuana LeBron James of medical marijuana stocks. I've been calling them that since day one, and they've performed like it since day one. And they deserve to be number 1 on this list. They are the leaders. Everybody else is chasing them. Everybody is chasing them. So that's why they deserve to be number 1. They just did a deal with Corona, which is enormous. They're up 411% since June of last year. That's in 9 months. A future growing capacity of 1.2 million square feet, currently utilizing 598,000 square feet. So that puts them second behind the Green Organic Dutchman in current capacity and first in future capacity. So yeah, that's why they're number 1, and they'll probably stay number 1 on my list unless anybody else knocks them off. But it doesn't look very likely at this point that anybody else is going to take the number 1 spot anytime soon. So that's my number. That's my top 10, and that's why I chose those top 10. I put a lot of time into researching these companies. There's a lot of different indicators and reasons why I picked those 10, but I think that those are a very solid top 10. If you want to
Oh yeah.
invest in the medical marijuana space and you want to invest in the best, I believe those are 10 of the best.
You know, I like the way, first of all, you conducted your due diligence. You did your research on all these companies, as well as many other companies. You picked your top 10 because people love a top 10 list. They like you to break it down. And you summarized not just what you're buying or potentially looking at buying, but why. And I like the way you picked not only the popular ones, the Canopy, the Aurora, and so on, but you also broke the news, which is typical on Rich TV Live, his YouTube channel, and richtvlive.com, which you need to check out if you haven't done it already. He's breaking the news before other YouTube channels are doing it. There were a couple of companies on there that nobody knows anything about, and that's how you pick the 10 baggers. We're not guaranteeing that these are 10 baggers or that they'll even go up at all. What we're saying is that if you want to get a 10 bagger, Canopy Growth, it's number one on the list because it's like you say, the LeBron James of pot stocks. And yet, if you want a 10 bagger within the next year, you might have to go with one of the lesser known ones, one of the ones that Rich TV Live is breaking first. I don't hear other channels talking about those particular stocks, especially the lesser known ones, which I think is great. Wow. Okay. Now you bought one of them today. Which one did you buy today?
I bought Village Farms. This one was one that really stood out in my research. They were one that I didn't know a lot about. They are probably a shock to a lot of people on my list. They're number 4. But based on my research, they just are enormous. So they have huge future growth potential, over 1 million square feet of growth potential, currently at 250,000 square feet of production, and only trading at $6. And there's other examples of companies like Aurora, like Aphira, like MedRelief that are trading at way higher prices that are utilizing less square footage. So that's kind of how I came to a lot of my conclusions. I think a lot of these just aren't talked about. They're not on a lot of people's radars. But that is, like you said, that's the opportunity I'm looking for. That's the diamond in the rough. That's what I do as an investor. And I bought this today, and when I was buying this, I was very confused and I was torn between what I should invest in. Because I like so many companies, and I own a lot of companies, and today the market is down. Because in Canada, well, let's talk about why the market's down. There's a few reasons. Let's talk about this. Let's break the news first, okay? So, Mr. Trump. So, Mr. Trump has just imposed a new tariff on China, essentially a $60 billion tariff, which has destroyed the market today. And the marijuana stocks are down too. So, I don't know how this is going to work, but there's some type of war now on tariffs that has been imposed by Donald Trump. And it's affecting the market today. Now, I'm not a politician. I don't get into politics too much, but it has affected the market a lot. Donald Trump, when he speaks, everybody listens. So I don't know how that is going to affect the market long term. But obviously, when you're imposing a $60 billion sanction on China, it's going to have a global effect on the economy. So what do you think about that, Dave?
Yeah, it's a great question. Honestly, I think it's another excuse for people to sell off just to bring it back up at some point. I look at these things as buying opportunities. We had a similar tariff scare in the markets, a week or two ago, and then the markets came right back up. The markets were scared back in February and early March. Why? Because we were worried about 10-year treasuries going up to the yields going up to around 3%. Now they're around 2.8%. It was just an excuse to sell off the markets, and they came right back up. All right. Now, yes, one of these days, the dip is going to turn into a market crash. Okay, there will be a 50% or greater market crash at some point in the future. It might be this year. It might not be till 2020 or 2021, 2022. We don't know. All right. Huge market crashes happen. But in the meantime, I'm going to do what's called rinse and repeat. All right. when the markets go down, and this is true not just for equities, but for cryptocurrencies. This is true for whatever you're buying. You got to, as Rich has said over and over, and he'll say it again and I'll say it again, buy in the red, sell in the green. Now, if you're already holding stocks or cryptocurrencies because they're down to today, or pot stocks, they're down to today, yes, sure, it is a little bit painful today, all right? But I'll tell you what, do you think a guy like Warren Buffett freaks out when he buys something and it goes down 5 or 10%? No. Okay. His favorite holding time is forever. And I know that Rich is a hodler when it comes to certain things. He doesn't freak out. I don't freak out. In fact, you might even want to buy a little bit more on a day like this.
Well, that's what I did. I bought. Yeah. I bought. The market was down 5%, and I bought.
You're putting your money where your mouth is, as they say. So if politicians, not just Trump, but if politicians anywhere want to say scary things, I say, okay, say what you got to say. Most of the time, it comes right back up. Maybe not tomorrow, but within a few weeks, couple months. Give yourself enough time for the trade to work out. I think it's an opportunity. And obviously, Rich thinks the same thing. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bought today.
Let's talk about the other big news. The Senate in Canada is about to vote on the legalization of recreational cannabis in Canada. This is a huge vote. It's about to happen any minute. They're not going to announce the results until after market. What do you think about that, David?
Yeah, Canada has. I envy you. I know that you're in Canada. I'm in the United States. I envy the fact that you live in an area where they have perhaps a more progressive or forward-thinking viewpoint on marijuana, on the marijuana industry. And again, I don't want to get political or anything like that, but it is true that in the United States we have an attorney general, at least right now, who doesn't have the most favorable outlook on the marijuana niche and its benefits, potential benefits. So, I think that there could be a very favorable outcome for the marijuana industry in Canada, regardless of what happens today. And you know what? If things don't work out as people had hoped today, then that could be a setback for the stocks. Okay. You know what? Every time there's been a setback for marijuana stocks, you know what happened a few weeks later, sometimes even a couple days later, sometimes the next day goes right back up. So you got to view these things as buying opportunities. Rich and I are not going to make a prediction as to what you should buy or sell. We're not licensed or investment advisors, financial advisors. That's not what we do. You have to make your own decisions, do your own due diligence. And we're not going to try to predict what's going to happen with any votes or any referendums or anything like that. What we are going to do is we're going to buy low, we're going to sell high, and we're going to do research to make sure these are great companies like Village Farms today. I didn't know about that until Rich told it to me. I might buy some today. It's down 6 or 7%. Is that going to scare you, or are you going to look at that as an opportunity? I think we know what Rich thinks about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Rich likes to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of big news that's happening, and like I said, I don't focus on fear. I don't trade with fear. I'm not concerned about what people opinions are. When I make an investment, I trust my own gut. I trust my research. And when you make an investment that you can sleep well at night with, I'm the kind of guy, I can't watch a stock go up in my face if I've researched them and I like them. Because if it goes up in my face, why don't I just buy it? So that's kind of the way I am as an investor as a whole. As an investor, I can't sit on the sidelines if real estate's going up. I got to buy some. I can't sit on the sidelines if stocks are going up. I got to buy some. I can't sit on the sidelines if cryptos are going up. I have to buy some. Now, when the market's not going up, do I need to buy some? Well, if I think long-term it's going to go up, yes. Because as an investor, that's when I make my money. I'm positioning myself now when the crypto market's down, and we can talk about crypto for a second. Well, I'll get into that in a bit. Well, when the market's down, I'm buying. When the market's up, I'm selling, and I have no sympathy. I want to show you another company which I broke live on Rich TV Live, and I want to bring it its visibility it deserves. ATE, NTB Therapeutics. A lot of people don't know about this company. I want to bring it to your attention, David, to the people, the watchers, the listeners, and the followers all over the world. ATBPF, NTB Therapeutics in America, ATE in Canada. This company's been doing a study. They just successfully passed phase 2B trials of testing of a product that reduces ulcers in patients from 42% to 2%. Since this findings, our community found this pick, and members in our community bought it low, and it was halted on Monday. It opened up on Tuesday, up 100%. Members within our community made thousands of dollars. Everybody was rejoicing. Everybody was happy. Everybody's feeling good about themselves. So even in a tough market, you can still find diamonds in the rough. And that's the beauty of the people. It's the power of the people. I didn't even buy this stock. I didn't invest in it. Members of our community found it, shared it, members liked it, bought it, and profited from it in 2 days. There were members that made $13,000. There were members that made $5,000. There were members that made $4,500 that I spoke to personally that were really excited that they were just a part of it. And I didn't even participate, Dave. But just the fact that it happened within the community, within the Rich TV Live community, within the app, it just goes to show that even in a down market, you can still find opportunities.
Right. Rich likes to share his picks on his WhatsApp group. Rich, I've had, and that's one of them. I remember you made a video on that as well. Check it out on Rich's YouTube channel.
We're the only ones in the world that made a video about this company, David. We're the only ones in the world that know about this company, David. And that's one thing we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue to break deals and news first. And we're going to continue to bring you guys companies that nobody's ever heard about. That's what I really kind of pride myself under. A year ago when I was talking about these marijuana stocks, nobody knew them. Now Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth Corp, Afira are household names. But a year ago when I was talking about them, they were down after I started talking about them, and a lot of people were panicking. And it's comical to look back now and see how much they're up. I mean, we could pull up videos right now. I mean, it's staggering. I mean, I just read to you guys how much they're up. And those prices, when I say they're up, that's since June of last year. If I go back to January, they're up even more. It's staggering.
Staggering. You can see the proof right there in Rich's videos. Just go through his archive, and you'll see he was talking about them when no one else was. I've had a number of people, Rich, ask me how to get onto your WhatsApp group where you tell people about your picks. How can people do that?
We have an app. It's at Google Play. It's also at the Apple Store. You can also go to our website, and you can find it right on the homepage. You'll see there's a link there. It says Google Play and it says Apple Store. Right on the homepage, just click on it. It's like a scanner code. It looks like a scanner code. Just click on it and follow the instructions. Or you can message me. You can contact me. You can email me. There's so many ways for people to get a hold of me, and I will add you to the group. You have to have a WhatsApp downloaded on your phone. So download the app, WhatsApp, on your phone, and then just contact me, and I'll get you in the group.
Got it. And right now there's no charge for this. There's no charge for which is great. I think it's fantastic. No paywall or anything like that. So again, there's nothing against charging for that sort of thing, but Rich doesn't. So there you go.
No, we're not like one thing we really model ourselves after, and I know you do too, is that we'll never ever give picks, charge for picks, or charge for information on Rich TV Live. We are an open community of like-minded individuals, and I'm learning from people like you, and I'm learning from the members as much as they're learning from me. I'm just a normal guy. I've only been on YouTube for a year. I'm not an expert. I'm not licensed. Yes, I have 20 years of trading experience. I've been trading cryptos now since June, so I've maybe got about 9 months of crypto trading experience and about 20 years of buying stocks. So I know how to buy stocks. I can help you guys set up accounts. I know how to buy cryptos. I own a lot of cryptos, and I own a lot of stocks and real estate. What have I learned over the last year is focus on the closest to the sure things as you can get. Focus on the sure things, Focus on the companies like NTB Therapeutics. They've got a product that's going to reduce ulcers in people. Like from 40% to 2% versus the other pharmaceutical drugs that still are only helping 58% of people. Now, this product's going to help 97, 98% of people. So this is like revolutionary type breaking news. That's the type of news we like to break. Something that has that type of upside. Now, could it go down? Of course it could go down.
Yeah.
Short term, anything that we talk about could go down. But long term, most of our picks are going to go up because it's the Warren Buffett method, which is
Yeah.
invest in good companies. Do you think that these companies are going to last for 20 years? When Warren Buffett started investing in razor blades and toilet paper, he thought about it, would people still be shaving and going to the bathroom in 20 years? The answer is yes. Thus, he came to the finding of, let me invest in these investments. I'm using the same strategy. Will these medical marijuana stocks be around in 20 years? Will people still be smoking marijuana in 20 years? Will they be ingesting marijuana in 20 years? Will they be taking CBDs in 20 years? My answer is not only yes, but I think they'll be taking it with almost everything that they do. They have it now in creams. They have it now in drinks. You see beer companies are getting involved with medical marijuana to have it infused in their beer. You see it in edibles. People are putting it in food. You see it in cookies. You see it everywhere. They're using it now in research for, obviously, people for cancer research, people with epilepsy, people with every type of illness known to man, essentially. Medical marijuana is being used to heal people, to help people, and I believe it's only going to get bigger and it's only going to get better. And that's why I continuously tell people the only way you can lose if you invest in these picks is if you're panic selling.
That's right. That's right. And we don't encourage that here. When things go down, I mean, that's part of the roller coaster ride that is investing. If you think you're going to have a pick, have one of Rich's picks or my picks, and it's going to necessarily go straight up, you know, if it's going to go right to heaven the next day, the next weeks, it doesn't always work like that. Once in a while you get lucky, but if you're going to be an investor, you have to be able to tolerate the roller coaster ride. Sometimes you're going to buy things and they're going to go down immediately. It's, you know, it's not the most fun thing in the world. One thing I've learned to do is to scale into my positions. I've learned that you don't have to put all of your investment into one. Well, you never put all your money into one thing, but whatever you were going to buy, just buy half or buy a third. And that way, if it goes down in the next few days, few weeks, you can put the rest in or put another half or third in. Whatever you were going to put in a little bit more. Scale into your positions. You can also scale out of your positions. You don't have to sell it all at once either. You can sell half. You can sell a third at a time. Yes, it costs, you know, it increases your commission costs, unless you're on Robinhood or something like that, which is free actually. So, although I have not tested it. So now I see we're looking at cryptocurrencies. Yes, that's down as well. Everything's down today. That's the big news. Somehow I don't think Rich is panicking. Am I right?
Yeah, one of the members in the group asked a really good question. With your marijuana stocks, do you personally just buy and hold? When do you decide to sell? That is a great question. Yeah. I want to get into this, and because it relates to both the cryptos and the marijuana stocks, because they're very similar. They're both two very growing industries. They're two industries that are having a lot of regulation issues, a lot of issues with politics, a lot of issues with government. So they're very similar, but they're two industries that I really love because I love the technology behind them. I love the real world use of both industries. And I believe that both industries will be here for the next 20 years. That's why I'm investing in both industries. Yeah. Okay? Now, makes sense. What is the key to investing? Getting in and getting out. That's it. It's as simple as that. Getting in and getting out. And that alone is an art. So when do you get in? I personally get in when something is down. I try to watch it, see when it's beat up, when nobody likes it, when nobody's watching it, when the volume dies out, and it's your favorite company, but for some reason it's lower. It's the lowest you've ever seen. 52-week low, and you're wondering why? That's when you buy. And when do you sell? When you see green in your account, and you look at your account that day, and you're like, oh my goodness, I see a profit. Anytime I see a profit in my account, I've got my finger ready on the trigger finger, and I'm ready to press the button. So that is my best answer to you guys, is trade like a robot, buy in the red, sell in the green, sell when you see a profit. Well, how do you know, Rich? 5%, 10%. You will know based on your own trading strategy. Are you looking to make $100? Are you looking to make $1,000? Are you looking to make $10,000? Are you looking to make $1 million? Your trading strategy will determine when you get out. If you're happy making $100, well, if you see that you're up $200, sell.
Yeah.
If you're looking to make $1,000 and you're up $800 and you want to make 1,000, then you probably should wait because you want to make 1,000, right? So it depends on your goals. My goal is always just to win. So whether I win $100 or $1,000 or $10,000, I really don't care on my trades as long as I win. When I invest in a stock, it's like a fantasy basketball or football or baseball player. I try to get the best player, like Canopy Growth Corp is LeBron James. I try to get the best player on my team, and when he has a good day or a good game or a good year, I want to sell.
Right.
That is my reward for picking the right player. That's the way I look at stocks. I am addicted to investing in stocks. I'm addicted to investing. I get a rush out of it. Today when I go and I buy my Village Farms, I get a rush out of it. Which company do I invest in? Which company do I pick? Which company do I buy? Do I lower my cost on something else? Do I add to a position on something else? That is how I trade. When I'm down, I'm holding or I'm adding to my position. When I'm up, I'm always thinking about selling. And that's my answer. And that is just the art of trading. And those two things will determine the 98% which fail in trading and the 2% that succeed. How do you get in and how do you get out? Do you panic getting in and buy when everybody else is buying on the way up at a 52-week high? Because that's how you lose.
Right.
Or do you buy when something that you really love is grossly undervalued? And sell when it's highly overvalued and everybody else is buying it and everybody else is jumping on a moving train. Is that when you're selling? Because that's when you should be selling, not buying. You're selling at that point. At a 52-week high of anything, you should be thinking about selling. At a 52-week low of anything, you should be thinking about buying.
I hope y'all are listening. What you just heard is it's gold, basically right there. That kind of comes down to it. I know it's general. It's a general overview of what Rich is thinking, what his thought process is when he buys and when he sells. But listen to those key phrases there. Great companies he's looking for. He's not buying junk. 52-week lows, not 52-week highs, but only on great companies. You don't buy the 52-week low on some crummy company that's overvalued. Okay, he's buying the best of the best in the industry. He is not a victim of FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. He doesn't buy after everybody else already bought something. He buys great companies when everybody else is not talking about the company or when they hate the company for no good reason.
That's right.
And that's foundational. And he holds for, well, there's no set time limit. But if he's satisfied with his trade, if he's in a winning position, he takes profits. Okay? Because don't forget, your winning trade can turn into a losing trade when you get greedy. You made $500, but no, I want $1,000. Okay, you made $1,000. No, I want $2,000. Well, you can go on like that forever. Next thing you know, panic sets in the markets and you lost everything. Now you're in a losing position. So I think it's a great idea beforehand to decide, what am I going to be satisfied with? How much profit do I want? Do I want 5% profit? That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Do I want 10% profit? All right, well, you're going to have to be more patient then. And you're taking on more risk by doing that. But at least you know when to get in, when to get out. And Rich mentioned that he's kind of a little bit like a computer in certain ways. He's a little bit mechanical in his trading. Yes, he trusts his gut, which, and people talk about trusting your gut, but really that means your wealth of experience, what you've learned over time. That's gut is not just emotions. It's what you've learned collectively from trading, investing, and from just watching the markets. But also, he's like a computer in certain ways. Computers usually beat humans when it comes to trading and investing because computers know ahead of time at what level they're going to buy and at what level they're going to sell, what they need to take profits, when they're going to do it, and they don't think about it. They just do it. If a great company goes down to a certain level, I'm just going to buy. But everybody else is panicking. So what? You got to be like a computer in some ways. And yet, he's also doing the due diligence, doing the research. You put it all together, I think you got a great system. So let's talk about, I want to wrap it up with the cryptos. Bitcoin, which once was around 20,000, Now it's less than half of that. It's about what, 8,700 US
That's right.
dollars per Bitcoin. It's we're in an interesting spot. We had a 50% plus crash. Now it's kind of going sideways, chopping around. Hard to predict. What's your outlook, Rich?
My outlook is not good. I think that the marijuana stocks and the cryptos, I've been saying this for a while now, are going through a bear market, and I think it's going to continue. I think that the marijuana stocks will stay in a bear market until the fall. So I think the next 6 months will just consistently be bloodshed, but I will continue to be buying because this will be our opportunity, and I'll continue to say it. It'll be our opportunity. What does Warren Buffett say? When stocks are down, it's like hamburgers. You can never have enough. So if it works for Warren Buffett, the best investor of all time, it's going to work for us. You know, if you've got your investment and you've got your eye on all the top medical marijuana stocks or all the top 10 cryptocurrencies, let's say you want to buy the top 6 cryptos, which I think are the best. Right there. They're right in front of you. There's 6 of them, right? Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Litecoin, Ethereum, EOS, and Bitcoin. I mean, this will change on a day-to-day, but overall, that's probably like the top 6. Those are 6 really good deals. All in the red today. Long term, if you like these companies, you're looking to buy. Because if you're Warren Buffett and you see Ripple one day being with 150 banks worldwide, a company that's going to be around for 20 years and one day could be at much higher, like $10, you're thinking, oh, great. It's at 65 cents. I can make some money. Right?
It's on sale. Yeah.
It's on sale. It's like hamburgers. When McDonald's gives you a hamburger sale and gives it to you for 50% off, what do? You buy 2. It's the same, and he loves, if anyone knows Warren Buffett, he loves hamburgers.
Yep.
So when he's relating to hamburgers, he's relating to something he absolutely loves, something he adores. He loves hamburgers. So he loves stocks too. I love hamburgers and I love stocks too. And when stocks go down, I want to buy more because my long-term outlook is they're going to explode. When are they going to explode? I don't know. But I can't live with myself if they explode one day while I'm chilling on the beach in the Dominican Republic or in the Cayman Islands or in the Bahamas or somewhere in Europe or in Thailand. And I'm making a video for the Rich TV Live Richaholics. Or maybe we're doing, a live stream, me and you. Mm-hmm. And one day you say, Rich, are you aware that Village Farms is now at $50? And remember, we were talking about it on your show, Rich? You were right, Rich. Do you know how that would make me feel if I didn't own it? So for me, I can sleep well at night knowing I own these stocks. I own pretty much all of these cryptos, the top ones too. And I'm going to continue to accumulate regardless of what they do. Now, why do I think they're going to go down? Because they are already so highly overvalued. People forget, I go back to my videos. Bitcoin was at 4,800 in October. That wasn't that long ago, guys. 4,800. So when people say, do you think it could go down? My answer is yes, I think it can go down. Why? Well, it was at 4,800 5 months ago. That's why I think it can go down. Do I want it to go down? No, of course not. I don't want any of my investments to go down. But can it go down? Yes. Anything is possible, especially when you see an asset that is still up over 100% since it was 5 months ago. So when I look at it from that perspective, I still believe it could go down because I look at charts very realistically. I don't hope and dream when I look at charts. I look at them with my eyes and my brain says, if a chart is going like this, something's going down. And if a chart is going like this, something's going up. Well, look at the chart on Bitcoin. You want to lie to yourself? Let's lie to ourselves. Let's look at the chart. And you guys tell me what you think. Based on the chart, not the news, just the chart. Because I keep seeing people on YouTube, and I have to do a video about this because it's getting me very angry. I keep seeing people on YouTube talking about, we found the bottom, we found the bottom, we found the bottom. And my answer to them is, how do you explain that that's the bottom? When you look at this chart, does this look like a bottom to you, Dave?
Boy,
I want to know. When you look at this chart, does this look like a bottom to you? Hold on.
It looks like it's just been going down and down and down. Who knows where the bottom is? I don't see any convincing evidence that this is a bottom. Is
this a bottom?
A bottoming pattern.
This to me looks like a bottom here, right?
Yeah.
And then this looks like a huge pump that came down, and then a pump, and then like a pump and dump, right? And then this was trying to be a bottom here. And then it was like, no, it's not a bottom here, right? This is not a bottom here. And then it came back up, right? And then it came back down, and then it came back up, and now it's coming back down again. So why am I telling people it's not the bottom? Because I don't believe it is.
Right.
I don't believe it is. I don't feel good about this right now, so I'm not buying any cryptocurrencies. Now, do I think that the marijuana stocks are at a bottom? No. But why am I buying the marijuana stocks? Because they, to me, are safer than the cryptos. Because, and I'm explaining to you why. Why did I buy this stock today? Because this has got a license from Health Canada. This is going to be something. Right. What will it be? I don't know. But it's going to be something. Whereas with the cryptos are still going through this regulatory battle where nobody really knows what to expect. And every day the news is going to dictate the market and how it swings. And the way crypto swings, it swings up 10% a day. Up and down 10% a day. So do I think it's the bottom? No. Do I hope it's the bottom? Yes. Do I wish it was the bottom? Yes. But for those people that want to invest, which I'm still an investor, I'm always looking to accumulate more, this is a blessing in disguise because I can go and buy all my top marijuana stocks for cheap, or I can buy all my top cryptos for cheap. And if you look at Bitcoin, you say, well, this is a high, this is the low right now. Well, it's been lower, so can it go lower? Yeah, I think it can go lower because the chart's showing it's going down and up and down. So where's it going to go next? Yeah, it might go up or might go down. I don't know. I don't control the market, but long term it's going to go up because it's breaking new, it's breaking ground, it's revolutionary technology. Long term it will go up, but short term, yeah, I think it could go down. But why am I buying? I'm buying the marijuana stocks because they are licensed by the government, whereas the cryptos are not, and that's why I'm hesitant to buy the cryptos. And I'm more staying on the sidelines with the cryptos until I actually see a real true bottom, which I don't feel we have found yet.
I think it's struggling to find its way, perhaps find a bottom. The trend has been down since December. You can't argue with that. Charts don't lie, folks. That's right. Your emotions lie. Well, you know, if you're reading articles, sometimes they lie. If you're watching YouTube videos of some people, you know, it's not always reliable. That's why I look at Rich TV as a source for reliable information, because Rich is looking at the facts. He's looking at the charts. You know, don't let your eyes fool you. Don't let your emotions fool you. Bitcoin has been down since December. You can't argue with that. Is it finding a bottom? I'd like to see it go sideways and then up for a while. I'm not looking for one chop up or one chop down, a chop up. I'm looking for a bottoming process, which, yes, it looks different than this. A bottoming process where it starts to calm down, it stops chopping around wildly, finds a level, goes sideways, and then starts to curl up and stay there, not just chopping around. That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, look at the price on October.
Yeah.
$4,400 in October. To me, that's more of a floor. This is more of a floor than this. Right. This doesn't look like a floor to me. So anyone who's trying to sit there and tell people that this is a floor, I think is really just kidding themselves, and they're hoping and wishing, as opposed to really trusting what their eyes see, which is it looks like a pump and dump. This looks like a pump and dump. Now, do I think it's going to get pumped again? Of course. It's highly manipulated, right? And whenever the rich and the elite decide that their friends got in cheap enough, that's when they'll decide to pump it up again. And I believe it's the exact same principle in the marijuana stocks. You look at these companies like Canopy Growth Corp and all these big players. Canopy Growth Corp has hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. Hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. Huge. They got a lot of players on the inside of the company, on the outside of the company, that want to see this a huge success.
Right.
Okay? So that is going to create buying pressure. Aurora Cannabis, same thing. They're a huge monster. They got huge potential. They are hundreds of millions in the bank. Okay? So they are going to continue to get their buddies to buy the stock too. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we don't really know. That's why we need to position ourselves in the ones that we like. Even if it goes down a little bit, I really don't care, because sooner rather than later, sometime in 2018, probably near the fall, they're going to skyrocket. And when they skyrocket, you're going to wish you got in. And you're not
Yeah.
going to care if you got in at 750 or 7 or 650 or even 8 if you see Aurora one day at $100.
Right.
And
Right.
that is the way I look at Aurora. I look at Aurora like they are $100 stock. I look at a Fira like they're $100 stock. I look at Canopy like they're $100 stock. They're just not there yet because they're not at future growth capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it, folks. Amazon was not always over $1,000 a share. Google was not always $1,000 a share. They had to start somewhere.
That's right.
Apple, Microsoft, they weren't always expensive stocks. They started out very cheaply back when nobody really believed in them that much. Back when Amazon was they were selling books mostly online. Would you believe it? Some of you might not even. I mean, you should be old enough to remember that. But this was back in the 1990s when they were selling just books, and people thought, buy books over the computer? What? And now, of course, they're pretty much taking over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So
that's true.
Will this happen? And this is already starting to happen with Canopy, Aurora. I mean, these companies are already too big to fail, practically. They have massive amounts of money. They can throw money at their problems like Apple does. Apple buys back their own stock. Microsoft buys back their own stock.
That's right.
Canopy they can take care of their problems just with the resources that they have.
Correct.
So they're huge. But on the other hand, Village Farms, could that be the next one? We'll find out. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about all of Rich's picks. We've gone over a lot today. Village Farms, that was a new one. Well, we got a couple of new ones that you might want to look at. Don't buy something because Rich told you to. Don't buy something because I recommended it either. Yeah, and there you go. Antibes Therapeutics, ATE. Things to look at. You're hearing it here first. You heard it here, but actually you heard it first on Rich TV Live. Check out his videos and check out richtvlive.com. Join the WhatsApp group. Why not? What's it going to cost you? Nothing. So get in there and be first. Be first with, don't be last on the bus, because then you get the seat that nobody else wants. You're the first on the bus. You get the pick. You get to pick which seat, and you get the best one. All right. Rich, man, I've got a lot. There's still about an hour left in the markets. I might go shopping. So, but I'm going to do it carefully.
Yeah, do it carefully, guys. Rich TV Live is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Please, guys, go and hit that like button. And if you are watching David Moadel, make sure you comment on his videos and subscribe to David Moadel and follow him on all of his social feeds. We want to thank YouTube. Without YouTube, none of this is possible. YouTube is by far the greatest streaming platform in the galaxy. We all know this. We love YouTube, and we all watch YouTube on a daily basis. And religiously, YouTube has pretty much taken cable out of the daily lives of all of us, I think. I know it has for me. And I'm super, super excited about where we're going, Dave. I'm excited to be a part of this. I've got a lot of videos I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon. 420 is coming here. So I just want to announce to you guys, keep watching. 420 is coming here. I will live stream from 420, the largest medical marijuana 420 festival in the world, right here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I will live stream it. I'll bring it to you, the people, and who knows what kind of cool interviews I'll be able to do with companies that are there, CEOs, random people that are just having a good time. I can't wait. We're less than a month away. We're now into spring. So this is the growing season for medical marijuana companies. This is earnings season. So a lot of these companies are going to come out with their financials. So we'll keep bringing the news. We'll keep breaking the news. And if you're not winning, you're not watching.
You're not watching. There you go. Rich, if you can take us out, I'd appreciate it. Rich TV Live and looking at the markets. Bring it to you. All right. We were a little bit late this week with the video because we were busy, but we're still doing it. We're making it happen. We'll find a way. Thanks a lot, Rich. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Dave. Thank you very much. Everybody, have a great day. Invest responsibly. Please comment down below if you have any questions. If you want us to look into a company, cryptos, marijuana stocks, anything, comment down below. This is your boy Rich with David Moadel, and we're out. Peace.